This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
This week we're talking about the Stanley Parable. This is a game that started life as a Half-Life 2 mod in July 2011. It got a lot of success with its core user base, so they decided to go and make a full standalone game out of the same material, and they kind of fleshed out more of the story and better graphics and everything. And that hit Steam at the end of last year. So I think it was like October 2013 for Windows, and then December for OS X. And we ran across it and we said, this kind of seems like potentially something we really like, or really not like at all. But that's why we're doing the review. And the game is basically it's first person, but it's not a first person shooter. So it's you're progressing through the story in first person the same way like Gone Home would work. There's no actual combat. And the story setup is that you're an office worker. 427, I think is the number of your desk. Number 427. Yeah. And you start the game and all your office mates are missing with no explanation as to why that's happened. And we're going to be extremely careful this time around because a lot of the fun of the game is not knowing exactly what's going to happen. It's really, really easy to spoil that. So probably what's going to happen is we're going to have a very short period talking about the actual review, and then a much longer sort of spoiler section for all the fun stuff to talk about. I guess that's pretty much covers it. There is a witty British narrator, which is which is in the trailer, not a spoiler. So you're interacting with the narrator either directly or indirectly as the game proceeds. So Justin, I'm very curious what you think, because when we were before we decide what episode or what topic to do for an episode, we kind of trade emails and trying to figure out like who would like what. I'm really scared that you're going to hate this game because it seemed in my mind I looked at it for a while and I remember thinking, wow, it seems like they took the parts that Justin hated about Gone Home and the parts Justin hated about Kentucky Route Zero and then made it into some other kind of mutant like horrible game for Justin. But you seemed up for it, so I'm really curious what you think.
So yeah, it's funny because the day that you sent the email suggesting it, I had already been looking at it on Steam, and I'm like, man, that sounds really cool. Like if we don't do this for the show, like I might have to pick this game up anyway and check it out. Because I watched the trailer and it had the witty British narrator. So I was like, it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a little Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy almost, And then there was another trailer. It's not gameplay related at all, but there's another trailer where they basically read a letter that somebody wrote in. Did you guys watch this?
No, I don't think so.
So if you go to the Steam page, you can watch the Raphael trailer, because this guy named Raphael, I guess, wrote in and like had all these complaints about the game. So the British narrator like reads his letter in this really whiny, obnoxious voice, and then goes through and is like, "We've completely rebuilt the game based on your feedback," and has like a completely different game that's not the Stanley Parable.
Wow.
And like it's showing them, because the guy was like, I feel like I'm a really logical person, and I don't think there was enough emotion in the game. And he's like, "We've got emotions. Look at all the emotions you can feel as part of this game."
All of the emotions. That should be the box quote.
And so I watched those two trailers and I'm like, yeah, I'm sold. Like, this is probably going to be great. And so, started playing it, and like you said, there's so little that we can talk about without giving away major spoilers. But it's awesome. I think this is a really, really smart game, and I just love, the concepts that it's exploring. And
by the way, you should mention that it's actually really potentially very short. So we should find out how long we each played.
Yeah, I think if it's very short for you, then you're not getting it.
Yeah, I played for, I think Steam said 190 minutes.
But still very short for like compared to some of the other games we played.
But I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface. I feel like there's a lot there, and like, I don't know. I think part of the game is not knowing how far it goes, and you kind of have to decide when you're done. So, but overall, love it. Think it's great. Like I understand like maybe why you thought that I would not like it, but I think I think my explanation for why I do like it is very spoilerish. So, but yeah, and overall, I think it's really awesome. Definitely recommend it to get checked out.
Steve?
I liked it. The British narrator is great. He said he's very sarcastic, and if you're like wandering around, he makes his comments like, Stanley thinks that, I have nothing better to do than, narrate him looking at this wall for 5 minutes or things of that nature, and so it's funny. And, I felt that it was a little bit heavy-handed. So it has, it trying to like make a point. I mean, it's a parable, right? So, and it, and I think it's just a little bit, I don't know. I wish it was a little more subtle, and like I think it could be actually more awesome if they'd have toned it down just by a little bit, because a lot of stuff just felt like kind of the obvious thing to do if you were trying to skewer this thing or that thing or make this kind of point. And even like the commentary they make about like office life, like the fake, they have with everyone gone, right? There's like all these like, pinboards with like notes hanging up, and there's stuff, whiteboards, and then there's
coffee mugs.
Yeah, coffee mugs, and there's like there's a PowerPoint presentation that's rotating through slides, and they're kind of funny, but they're like
Office Space kind of.
Yeah, Office Spacey, but not even as like
Office Space was more subtle than that.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yeah, it's like just really like on the nose, like and I think it could have been a little bit. It would have elevated the game if they would have spent a little more time with that and not gone for quite such the most obvious jokes.
So I think tell me if I'm right on this. It seems like the sharpness of the writing in the narration and the story doesn't carry over to the art, like the wall art, like the assets.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think even the narration and the story are a little more blunt. Like I thought I was being hit over the head with the message every time, and that was. I think they could have toned it down everywhere, and it actually would have elevated the whole thing.
Because I think what you're talking about is that, like, for example, on the PowerPoint slides or something, be like tips for not getting fired, and like one of the tips is don't get fired.
Yeah,
right? And it's funny, but it's also like it's almost like a cheap shot. Like it's like if it was Office Space, like it would have been. Everyone jokes about the TPS reports. What were TPS reports? Who knows? Who cares? Like that's kind of the point.
That's the
like,
brilliance of it.
It was just this stand-in for all the boring paperwork you have to do, and so if they'd put literally TPS reports in the game, it also would have been too much because now we all know what it is. But they could have made up some stuff where you're like, oh yeah, soul crushing paperwork. I totally get that without being so like, isn't it so cool that soul crushing paperwork? Yeah, like, I don't know.
TPS reports, everybody's mentally replacing it with whatever your equivalent is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so like it almost it was too much, and it almost felt like made it feel not like a real office environment. Step back and you're like, yeah, this is like real, like soul crushing environments everyone's had some interaction with probably in their life. Particularly people playing this game. But that aside, I really enjoyed it. I played it for I think about the same amount of time as you did, and which was much longer than I expected to be playing it. Like I started out playing like I don't know, and and then hours later I was like, whoa, I need to make dinner, I guess. And so
it's a good sign,
yeah, exactly. It usually does not happen for me. Most time for games, I get kind of antsy, and it takes me a little while to get into it. But this one I was sort of sucked in right away and spent a lot of time playing. So I liked it. What do you think, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, same. I think it's brilliant. It's way different, I think, than what you think you're getting going in, even based on the trailer and kind of what the feeling is that you get. The thing it ends up being, depending on how you play. And actually, this is the interesting point about the spoilers. We may have actually ended up playing very different games. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it's really hilarious. It's like basically a dark comedy, and really. At least the stuff that I ran into, the jokes were often unexpected and clever, based on your environmental situation and where you were. The office stuff on the walls aside. There's one in particular I want to talk about because I thought that was very like everything else in the game is hyper meta. It was like a joke about the joke, which was very, very strange. But it's such a unique experience, and it's so it's clear why it's a cult classic. It's got a very unique take on things, and it's something you remember and something I'm sure I'll mentally refer to when I see similar things in other games. It's like, oh, that's just like the Stanley Parable. It's like one of those things, and I think it's something that unless you absolutely truly hate video games, you should definitely play, because there's just it's such a great thing that it ends up being. I'm just going to repeat everything you guys said. So it's in addition to the fact that I think we kind of all really like it, the other problem is that we're dancing around all the interesting things to talk about because it's literally, we don't want to give it away for anybody that hasn't played it. But it's interesting, if you look at the Destructoid review, they did pretty much the same thing. There was like 2 paragraphs about, yes, you should play this game. I'm sorry, I can't tell you why. 10 out of 10. Just like, all right, okay. So,
So-
I guess we recommend it.
Go and play it.
If you go play it. When you're done, come listen to the rest of it because we'll tell you what we thought about the actual story elements.
Yeah, I think you'll want to come back because
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the
I'm
fun
really
part.
curious to see
I wanna
like what
see
you
what
guys.
happened to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
absolutely. So maybe the shortest main episode we've ever had, but stay tuned. If you have any feedback, you can email it to feedback@lowerearthorbit.fm. You can also reply to us on Twitter @lowerearthshow. All the stuff we talk about, or almost everything we talk about, is kept in meticulous show notes on the website at lowerearthorbit.fm. And we are starting a national campaign for more subscribers on our YouTube page. We're up to 4, I think is the newest count.
5.
5?
5.
This just in. I've just been handed a sheet of paper. Except when there's video, they know it's not true, but that's okay. So be the 6th or the 7th or whatever. So we're just excited to be on there and have like a different outlet. So we really want to see you guys participate. We did actually, I'll have to put it kind of in the video, but we got my favorite response, I think, so far on Twitter was there's somebody, I can't remember the guy's name right now, unfortunately, but I'll put it up. But he said that he really liked the fact that we're doing some video stuff now. And the quote was, "I love the art style," which you had said about 6 times during the course of the last episode, or the 2 episodes ago. So youtube.com/lowerearthshow. And if you want to check out the show on there and let people know about it, we'd really appreciate it. Like videos, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And on to the spoilers. Okay, so now the fun starts. I feel like the lights should come down. Like, who wants to be a millionaire? Yeah. So I suspect from what you guys said, I'm kind of curious now. So like I'm not sure if I played the game right, honestly. So what I did is I went initially when I first started. It tells you, the narrator tells you he turned left. And basically, for my first run through, I just did the opposite of everything that he said, just to see what would happen.
Did you all the opposite? So including not answering the phone?
No, I didn't. I did answer the phone.
Oh, so you did not actually follow all the way negative.
Because I haven't done the thing you're about to describe, but I want to.
You should. It's the best.
So do we have
best
like
way.
Man, I feel like
concentric spoilers, like nested spoilers?
I know, it's so good. I want to talk about
spoilerception. Oh no.
So like raise your hand if you've done the phone thing. We'll cover it. Damn. Okay, so we can't talk about that one. But
it's so good.
No, you
All right,
can't.
I'm
You
so
can't.
sad.
You can't.
There's things I want to put in the show notes because what it reminds me of, and I can't.
So what if? So should we have like if 2 of us did it, then we should talk about it. But if only one of us did, we shouldn't talk about it.
It's
we
fine.
almost have to.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we can play it.
Okay.
I think
so. That one
really
sounds
doesn't
awesome.
want to hear it. Then we maybe.
Okay. I want to find out about that one. So the first time through, I literally I like turned down the right hall, so went the wrong way. And by the way, every time you do something wrong, it's hilarious because he's like, Stanley decided to check out the lounge. What an excellent lounge.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room.
It's beautiful.
Stanley was so bad at following directions.
It's a miracle he made it this far. So I went down the wrong way and then I jumped off the lift. So I went on the
you did that
the walkway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, walkway. And I think the first time through, I ended up in the whatever it is, the star room. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So okay.
No.
I do, but-
The room. This is so beautiful here. You don't want to leave this room.
Oh, actually, I didn't know. There's a separate star thing that happens when you go into the basement.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, so no, it's not that one. I did that one as well. So the one I did.
Oh, thank God, one we've all done.
So
that one sucks.
Let me just tease this
That one
one. Let me just tease this one because I'm really surprised you guys didn't get this one. It's when you jump off the ledge.
Yeah, you jump off the ledge onto the catwalk,
walkway, and then you go.
and then you go through the blue door.
But you do it again.
What?
Okay, so you haven't done that one.
Wait, so you went on the little elevator, like cargo lift thingy,
Yeah.
and you jumped down to the catwalk.
Yep.
And you
Ended up in this
he
beautiful
presents
room.
you with the 2 doors.
There's no beautiful room unless you go through the red door.
Yes.
Oh, I never went through the red door.
Me neither. I always went to the blue doors.
So did you not end up in a room with like particle
No.
effects?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I tried to explore all the different ones I could come up with. I had 10 different endings, but I haven't tried.
I had something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
I
not
should've-
quite that many. I think I, had more
I
like
have a lot
7.
where I'm like, well, I'm gonna do it this way, but like mental note, like come
Yeah,
back and
exactly.
Okay,
yeah,
so-
I tried to do everyone I could think of, but I totally forgot to do the
hold
red
strong.
door.
We're gonna find one. So,
well, we've all done the one in the basement. right? Where you go down to the basement and you're like
going in
stuck-
circles.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was actually kind of cool because it's like you start to feel like you could fly, and you actually kind of start to fly.
I know, that was awesome.
It's not like you're going through stars, and it becomes like the Starfield thing.
Yeah.
Well, I like too the way they played with, like, you sort of assume it's real. It's like the geometry is real, right? But then the endless cycle, like, oh no, anything can happen here, and that I thought was really cool.
And they started talking about, like, he thought the voice in the side of his head was possibly not real, and then he was thinking about the voice inside of his head, talking to himself.
That was really good. Yeah.
Hyper meta. So,
Yeah, I like that up until like the very last part of that ending, and then that kind of sucked.
Yeah. Did you guys ever get to the point where there's another narrator?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I love that. That's my second favorite ending.
Yes.
Wait,
that
I'm sorry. Yes. So the
white
you
room?
almost kill yourself? Yes, the museum?
Yeah.
okay.
That was
That was
super
super.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
okay.
Yeah, because there's the other narrator who makes comments on the first narrator
Yes.
and you and how it's sort of you need each other, and
The best part about that is when you start walking down the escape hallway, he's like, the door is not shut behind him. He has plenty of options to not kill himself.
Stanley's making a conscious effort to keep walking.
Did you guys get the nuclear ending?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a way to stop it?
Well, there's the numbers painted on the walls, and I tried a bunch of combinations of them on the buttons. on the wall.
And some of the screens say like pink 4, and I was like, I don't know what to
don't know
do.
what to do
It seems like there's probably a way to stop it, but
I'm sure there is if you can if you can try the right combination of things. But eventually, you only get so you there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttons spread throughout the thing, and there's the big red button.
Yep.
And so you like push things on the little buttons, and then you push the red button. You don't get to push the red button so many times, then it locks you out.
Yeah.
You only get like 3 presses. And so I tried it and didn't get the combination. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I only tried like 2 combinations and then ran out of time.
I'm presuming both of you tried turning the generator both turning the machine both on and off, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You mean like
The
the final?
mind control machine.
Going outside, you mean?
Yeah, there's going outside as one, or you can. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
Those are the really easy endings to get to. Yeah.
And I thought, for some reason, I went back and played it even today. I thought that if you did the off thing, so you saw the outside, at that point you would be able to go back. But once you've done that, you're done. Like you can't go back. So a couple of the pathways I did, I'm trying to remember what the actual endings were, but that's really interesting. You guys can do the star one, but you can.
The other way. Did you go through the other door?
Which other? The blue door?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You would have remembered.
Okay, no.
It's you went through the blue door, right?
Yes. Well, multiple times.
Yes, exactly. You have to.
And the narrator gets like increasingly desperate
Yes, for you to stop doing that.
Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley.
Did you guys do the? You're supposed to. Oh, did you get the broom closet?
Yeah, you go in the broom closet, and he's like, for some reason, Stanley went in the broom closet.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Is there an ending there? I say in the broom closet forever and nothing ever happened.
I think it's just a comment.
But the best part about it is he's like, I bet you're going to talk to your friends about being in the broom closet. Did you get the broom closet ending?
Oh, I did.
At this
really?
point,
He didn't say that.
If you stay long enough, he's like, at this point, the narrator had absolutely no idea what Stanley was doing in the broom closet. There was literally nothing in the broom closet.
So I went in the broom closet on my first pass through and got like the Stanley went in the broom closet like, for no reason. But then I think on my 3rd or 4th playthrough, I'm like, I'm gonna go to the broom closet again. And the narrator's just like, I'm done. I have no idea what to do. Why you keep going to this broom closet? I don't care. I'm just gonna stop talking until you decide to be done with whatever it is you do in this broom closet. Like the narrator's just like, I'm out.
My favorite part of that was just the fact that he was like, I bet you're gonna talk to your friends about this particular, and here I am right now talking about the broom closet ending.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think what the other. So
You do the maintenance elevator?
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Okay.
I think I know how to get there. I think I know that
it's really easy.
Is that where you go through the right door and then you take the thing?
Well, you go through the wrong. You go through the wrong door.
The right hand side.
The right hand side, yeah. But then you listen to the narrator and then
go through.
double back.
But before you double back, you take the maintenance elevator.
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet, but I want to.
That doesn't sound familiar. Did you guys get the wife in the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't a great one.
No, it wasn't great.
That was
you
the
were
second
You
one
were
that I
so
got.
close to getting to the best ending.
I
device.
went to...
The blue thing?
No.
Oh.
Is this one where you don't pick up the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, man. See, now I really need to do it.
Yeah, I need to go back and do that. Okay. We'll have to have a follow up.
I think
we're gonna have outtakes next time.
I think that's like the real ending too. Like,
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, actually, yeah. I mean, we can discuss
Okay.
whether we think of it. I know, but like, you have to.
Okay, so here, we have to wait until
That's
next.
the ending where you literally disobey the narrator at every possible turn.
possible moment. Yeah.
So we should next episode.
we should do a little like
do a follow up.
Yes.
Spoiler follow-up.
Yeah,
where it's
spoilers of the spoilers.
Yeah.
I feel like there were more, and I'm at blank because I did so many different things.
I mean, you can close the door to his office and stay there and just not investigate.
oh, did you ever type ahead with the?
You can close the door to Stanley's
And
office?
you can just stay there, and then the narrator's like, "Well, Stanley was too afraid to, and just decided to go back to his normal, boring job." And
Nice.
it's like the game is done in like 30 seconds.
Did you do the? Did you ever try to type ahead on the keypad in the boss's office? Like, you know what the code is. So did you 2845 and then? So what happens?
But
is
like your second time through, you can go even faster than the narrator says.
So the thing is, if you go too fast, he's like, at this point, the narrator realized that Stanley was maybe going a little too fast, and this is a very stressful lifestyle. So instead, he said, just wait, let the narrator catch up, and then continue while listening to new age music. So you're just like sitting there for like 30 seconds, like listening to this new age music, and then you're allowed to continue because you're zooming too far ahead.
That's funny.
I at one point I just like typing random codes on the pin pad thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, maybe there's like a different code. And if I can guess what the different code is, then maybe I can open up a different pathway. And so I type in like, I don't know, 5 or 6 wrong codes. At a certain point, the door just opens anyway. And the narrator goes, Stanley, or no, like multiple times while you're typing it in, he's like, Stanley had no way to know that the combination was 2, 3, 4. Like, it says it like really slow, like multiple times. And finally, like the door just opens anyway. It's like, and through sheer luck, the panic mechanism kicked in and the door just opened anyway. And Stanley went on with the story instead of staying here goofing around. Like,
Amazing.
the nerd just
great.
gets bored. He's like, screw it, we're just going.
Yeah, the museum thing, the one like small thing there is that, did you get to the room that shows the emails that they got from the trailer? I wonder if that was because you said who was Raphael?
I don't know. It might be.
That was like the hyper meta part of the game.
Did you go to the room where they had the outtakes of the narrator playing?
Yes.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it hardly
It was
at all.
weird.
You had to like go to like the exact surf center and then like you could
really?
sort of like hear it. It was still like it was kind of weird, but yeah, it was funny to hear him like mess up and then laugh and stuff. Like just
That's awesome.
after you've listened to him all
So
the
the
time.
phone one I need to do. You guys need to do it was
The
like,
red door.
What's the room called that they show stars? Planetarium. It's a planetarium.
Okay.
So you guys haven't hit that.
No.
That might be my favorite one because of the way you have to exit. There's quite a bit of craziness involved in that.
So you went through the blue door where you have to like you like multiple times.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy too.
I'm trying to remember what happened after I did the blue doors so many times.
I mean, it's like
oh, is that? Wait, no. Is that the one where he finally is like, you clearly aren't enjoying this game? And
Yes,
like,
yes.
that was. Oh, you have to do.
Okay,
that.
so I didn't.
you will really appreciate this one.
really
Yes,
enjoy that.
much more than me.
So you just have to get through the blue door. Is there more?
Just keep going through the blue door.
yeah.
Okay.
So every time he presents you with the red door versus the blue door, just always choose the blue door.
Okay.
It's really funny too. Like each time he's like trying to like he like moves the blue door further away from the red door, so it's like
Puts it behind you, has like big like neon
that's
signs pointing
pointing
at the red
this door.
But yeah, if you just keep doing the blue door, then eventually he like sort of gives up and like goes on this different tangent, and it's totally worth it.
So how do I get to the phone one again? I'm trying to remember. You go down the hallway.
Take the cargo elevator, but you
you don't jump on it. You follow it, then you go into that room where there is the phone.
Escape thing? Or
Wait, no. Cargo
Oh,
elevator.
you take it all the way, or you do jump off.
No,
you don't
take it all
jump
the
off.
way.
Or don't jump. Okay.
And then you'll get to the room with the very next room is the room with the phone.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then just don't answer.
Well, you can't just not answer the phone. It'll just ring forever.
Oh,
You want me to tell you how to?
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
You need to unplug the phone.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you could... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me...
Wait, but I'm not sure. But because if you take the catwalk, what's the thing you have to do that's wrong? Because if you just go straight through the right way, then you're going to get to the nuclear Not the nuclear.
No. Not this is not the catwalk in the nuclear thing. This is the catwalk this is the elevator thing that you jump off to get on the catwalk for the doors.
Oh, so you do have to take the jump off or not?
No, don't take the jump.
No,
So you had to jump off the yellow thingy to get to the catwalk.
Yes.
Just don't jump off.
Oh, stay on.
Stay on it.
It will
Like to get to the wife ending.
I get that, but I'm trying to remember how to get the wife ending.
Yeah.
So which thing do you do wrong?
Take the right hand door.
Yeah.
And then
take the right hand door.
take the right hand door, and then you'll go through the.
That's right.
And ignore the narrator.
It's actually pretty brief. I think to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went so many times, and there's a stunning variety of things that the narrator will say about the little lounge.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Because it's a little different every time. It's only I think the very first line of dialogue is canned. Oh, did you guys get to the point where eventually the office starts to change?
Yes.
Where there's more papers or less papers strewn on the floor.
I found where big chunks are just missing, and you can cut really quickly to the conference room and stuff.
Wow, I didn't see this.
Yeah. Eventually at a certain point, because the office is it looks mostly normal. Maybe there's a few stray papers or whatever, but then eventually you get to the point where everything is covered in paper.
Did any of you ever start the any two of you did any of the starts actually end up with the today look brighter for some reason?
Oh, I've had it where no, it was it maybe rained and then stopped quickly.
Yeah.
And Stanley wished he could see weather or something.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Because I was expecting, because 90% of the time the beginning was the same, but a couple times it was a little bit different, and I didn't know if I triggered something accidentally.
You may have. I think that's part of the fun of the game is that you can't actually be sure
know
that it will be, even if you make all the same choices, will you get the same ending?
Yeah. Intense. Okay, so we're gonna have to check out the phone one, and we're gonna have to check out you guys have to do the basement one and then the blue door one, and we'll reconvene.
Okay.
Yes.
So the specific endings aside though, so what's this game trying to say? I think I have maybe some ideas, but I want to know what you get.
I think the main there's probably a wide array of different commentary it's making, but the thing that clicked on my mind at some point is that you are Stanley, as opposed to it's basically telling you that you, the person at the keyboard, are not simulating being Stanley, but it's saying that you are the person that is being portrayed. In other words, press a key. You in the real life are pressing a key.
How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why...
There's some commentary on that. How different are you than Stanley from sitting in front of a desk all day?
I think I have to abstain from this question because the path that I took, I think,
is the real answer.
I think it changes my answer, and so I can't.
Okay.
I mean, at least the world that, or the path that the narrator takes.
Yeah. Okay.
After this, I think informs what I think is the truer underlying purpose of the game.
Okay. So we'll definitely have to play that in and see what happens.
Did you get the broom closet? I forget. Did you say you did?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't stay there until he talked about he presented it as an ending or whatever. But
okay.
I think that. If you read some of the other stuff, a lot of people say it's a game about choice. I think that's true. I think that they're playing with the idea of what does it mean to have agency in a game where the whole world is constructed for you? Because and even the description on Wikipedia I think touches on this too, where it's basically you're playing this game which was written with a certain set of rules and constraints. So you can't really do everything. So every choice that's presented to you is kind of a false choice because both options have already been accounted for by the game designer. So you can't actually make a choice that the game designer didn't anticipate. And just sort of riffing on that idea and taking it to meta levels and sort of talking about, does not only I think does choice matter in games, but I think that it's a pretty short logical leap to ask yourself does choice matter anywhere, right?
Well, so that's part of the commentary on the lady that stops when she finds Stanley's body,
Yeah.
Oh, she's like, oh, good thing that I'm not crazy. I have full control
that was interesting. I thought that was pretty. That was
as she goes off to her meeting in which she has to impress some people who will then decide the course of her career, you know,
and therefore her life.
Yeah.
So have you finally finished BioShock Infinite?
No.
Okay. There was a conversation that we should have when you're finished with BioShock.
Okay, so I'll do both.
Okay. How close are you? Or where are you at in BioShock?
I'm still wherever it is that we last talked about it.
Yeah. You should finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever read the monster at the end of this book?
Yes.
No.
I
This is
loved that book
exactly.
growing up.
I loved it too, it feel like this is like Monster at the end of the book meets like Choose Your Own Adventure.
Wait, is this what the other ending is? You're not talking about?
No, just the game in general.
So what was? I haven't heard of this book.
It's a Sesame Street book.
Yeah, so it's about Grover. And so Grover,
it's awesome.
It's very meta. So Grover knows that at the end of this book there is a monster.
The idea of meta Sesame Street.
That's what Sesame Street is.
Yeah,
kind of.
exactly. Yeah. So like Grover knows there's a monster at the end of the book.
Okay.
So he does not want you to finish the book. He's speaking to you.
Oh.
And so he's like,
Don't turn the page.
And then you turn the page, you're like, no, why you turn the page? And then he like then he gets increasingly desperate, and he like builds all these like. He like
Brick walls.
He'll build brick walls, or he'll try like sew the pages together and all this stuff. And then each time you turn the page, like you see the brick wall has collapsed, or the thread has been torn, and he gets more freaked out as he goes along. Which
I totally free. I read that book. So, that was like one of those books that my mom always read to us when we were little, and I like probably 50 times. I've been read that book read to me, or I've read that book. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's perfect. Yeah, because he's like, I really at this point don't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly. He's like the
It's the
narrator.
same
He's speaking
thing.
to you, and he's trying to like convince you not to do this stuff, and then you
keep doing it anyway.
And you have even less choice what you do here. You choose to turn the page or not.
Right.
But like it's kind of the essence of that is the same as this entire game.
Which, by the way, was one of the second narrator things. One of the options, or I guess what she's telling you to do, is at this point you can just quit the game. That's the only way you can save yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys saw in the museum, but they said one of the original versions of the game, like the only way to end the game was to quit, which they found too frustrating. Like players found it too frustrating or confusing or not obvious.
Interesting.
The only way to what? To
Like
win the
you
game.
never got to the end. Like you literally had to, as a human being outside of the game, realize that the only way to play the game and finish it would be to go to the exit menu. Like that there was no way the game was going to end for you.
Oh, it's like in one of the paths.
That was part of like the psychological part of it. It's like you as a player would have to realize that the designer intentionally made it so you couldn't end the game, and then sort of go a level above and realize
But you couldn't end the game.
like part of the game was realizing that the game was broken, in the sense intentionally broken, such that you would not be able to exit and start over until you personally had gone to the menu and done a restart. The reaction you're having is explaining why they took it out.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't understand what that would even look like.
Well, I mean, I feel like this happened to me, and maybe I just didn't wait long enough. But there was one of these crazy paths where I ended up basically like in blackness.
Yeah. I just
waited and waited. Nothing happened.
Yeah,
I ended up just
happened to me
quitting
too.
and going back. And so I kind of assumed that maybe
there was a vestige
supposed
of
to do that?
Yeah. But anyway, that was in the museum. They talked about that. Like that originally was the only way to end the game. It would never.
Oh, maybe
restart.
they did that at the end of every
Yes.
path. Every path
Yeah, that's
ends
probably
with
what
you
happened.
in
Yeah.
darkness, and you have to explicitly say, "I want to do it again."
Which the blackness thing is sort of interesting because it's sort of like it's making it a little bit more real. It's not like just you died and then you respawn. It's like it's actually death. You're actually
Yeah.
There's some funny little meta commentary on one of the paths too, where like imagine he reflects on characters dying, and he's like, but really it's just a video game, and so like you're gonna respawn anyway, so death has no meaning, and I forget where he goes, but this
That's
whole
awesome.
like meta commentary.
It doesn't ring a bell.
Okay.
I don't know.
It sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know the specific scenario.
Oh no, I think it requires the freight. It's the freight elevator one. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's too many different paths.
I wonder
actually-
what the actual count is.
Yeah. I think the ending that we were talking about earlier, the one that you haven't done, but the one where the red and blue doors and eventually gets frustrated. I don't think I actually made it to the end of that. I think I had to stop playing.
Oh really?
I made it pretty far, but I don't think I actually got to like the end of that path.
I think I did. I think it's surprisingly long.
Yeah, it takes forever.
You go through all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Even
I'm
more than
pretty
the
sure
basement one?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Much longer.
Totally. I really don't want to ruin it for you because it is such a like awesome surprise.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
I'll do it. Yeah, we'll report back.
Yeah. All right.
So
this is definitely the weirdest game we've ever reviewed.
have you guys played that part? Because we're just in spoilers over here. You're in a different set of spoilers.
He's got the gun. What does the gun do?
Shoots bullets really fast. Okay.
All right.
See you later, guys.
By the way, I just realized that So there's a thing that people do who do video podcasts where they don't want to give away that they recorded multiple podcasts on the same day.
I know,
So they'll
clothes.
change their clothes between episodes.
I know.
Totally forgot to bring espresso clothes.
Oh, that would be clever. I thought about that a few minutes ago too, but maybe next time we should.
Yes. We're going to do this for real.
Yeah.
You've unlocked wardrobe page.
And actually, the Stanley Parable. This week on Low Earth Orbit, we review the Stanley Parable. Kind of mixed up the emphasis there. The Stanley Parable. It sounded like too much. This week on Low Earth Orbit, we review. This week on Low Earth Orbit, we review the Stanley Parable.
No, that's
Not the Roger Parable.
Stanley.
The Stanley Parable? No. Okay.
Yeah,
it's
you're
fine.
right about
We're good. Yeah. Welcome to Low Earth Orbit. I think there's some words that come after that. I'm not sure. I'll try it again.
William Poog, P-U-G-H. Hook.
Let's see.
Under the Galactic Cafe.
I feel like that's somewhat of a common last name, but I don't know if I've ever heard it pronounced.
Hook.
All right, let's see. I think that says.
How you doing, bud? You really look relaxed over there.
So the internet says that it's pronounced Pa'o.
Are you serious? I'm not going to say that.
I mean, I can look for some other alternative pronunciations. It's just
There's no way.
I think we really
Pa'o.
we only have.
Maybe Pow.
Could it just be Pug?
Hug. I'm pretty sure. I mean, oh,
How is it-
it's
how is it spelled?
rarely.
P-U-G-H.
Pew. I know a guy who's that last name.
So we have three now. You said out loud, but I'll go.
No, I
with
knew a guy. His name was spelled exactly like that. He
The
pronounced
internet. What do you?
P-O-U-G-H.
Yeah.
Pew.
No, not O-U. P-U-G-H.
it P-U-G-H.
Oh, P-U-G-H. Oh, I'm.
P-U-G-H, yeah.
See, P-O-U-G-H is the one that.
What's the first one you said?
Pa'o? It's literally what it
so
says
glad I
for.
didn't say that.
It's what it says for B-O-U-G-H. So it's wait, P-U-G-H.
That's awesome.
Strangely, it's pronounced Smith.
The P is silent.
And all the other letters.
Actually.
And also, there's new letters instead.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. How about this?
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.